Like, at this point, he's kind of tried to bring in the rest of the department to believe
but because like
butt boy is a thing.
Yeah, but like because the story involved like it's my AA sponsor. By the way, I'm an alcoholic. I think this man is sucking people up his asshole. It's like,
They were like, okay. Hello and welcome everyone to the Camp Counselors, a More Butter production. We are here to talk about things that are campy and ridiculous, people that are campy and ridiculous, and we have a fun time along the way with our camp counselors. I am your host, Kennie JD. I am also here with my co-host, AmandatheJedi.
hey.
And Mista GG.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna like jump right over to him, so I didn't want to be like, "Hey, you know what's going on?"
Well, tell us about yourselves, Amanda, if you want to go first. Like, no, if they're new to the podcast.
You're new to the podcast. I talk about movies. I talk about good movies, bad movies, weird movies. But people always just seem to tune in for the bad ones the most, and that's where we're gonna have
the sexy bad ones in particular.
Sexy bad ones is literally my bread and butter. Things that have like somehow spun out from Twilight are my bread and butter.
Unfortunately, it's become a bacon number.
Yeah.
It's become some way and somehow every bad movie leads back to Twilight somehow.
Truly. It's cinema.
And Mike, a.k.a. Mr. GG.
Yeah, I am Mista GG. I also like to talk about movies, sometimes disturbing ones, sometimes sexy ones too, not as much. I know you guys just hit the second part, the sequel to 365, which I have not watched. But
please do.
The verdict seems to be it's worse than the first.
Yeah, like Kenny's like, do it, and I'm like, no.
Like, don't. Like, it's a music video.
It is. It is.
2 hours.
It's 30
montages?
Yeah, 39 minutes of the runtime, and that is being generous and cutting out like musical montage, like short transitions, like things like under 20 seconds, is just music montages. 39 minutes of an hour and like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
No, is it like casual, like driving down Venice thing, or like fucking montages?
It's
both.
Both.
Gotcha.
It's both.
All.
Everything you could possibly think. Every like beach montage, car montage, shopping montage.
There's a
Another
golf
shopping
scene.
montage?
Yes.
Less than the first time.
Yeah.
But I will say, if at some parts it just felt like they ran out of things to do, so they got innovative with golf.
Which is weird because I read the book and there's too much.
Right.
There's too much. There's like some guy pretending to be gay to make her fall in love with him. There's like the stuff that's actually in the movie. There's like her ex-MMA fighter boyfriend. Like there is so much content in the book that I knew they were going to have to cut, but then they somehow still didn't use any like plot progression in the movie itself.
They tried to shove
ridiculous.
a movie into the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Are they just lazy, or are they just like, I mean, you guys will tune in for the fucking, so I don't need to really do anything else?
Yeah, it's got to be that.
Okay.
I also think it's a thing where kind of like the After series, I feel like they got all this criticism about certain things, and one of it would have been like the bad English accents, like how they seem to really struggle speaking English and struggle communicating in English or something. So it's like,
and so they just took all the communication
cut out a lot of
out.
dialogue so that the actors don't have to actually learn anything. And then that's a problem solved. But
I thought you were going to go with like people thought it was like toxic romance.
That too.
And so they took out all the toxicity.
That's what I mean. So instead of like
there's no story left.
Yeah, what people want. Instead of steering into what people want, they just like tamed it down. So now like the actual fans don't like it. And then the people that are tuning in to like shit on it are like, well, this is
don't have enough.
This is just bland. So yeah, it's a whole multi-step thing, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm not going to watch it, so
there
thanks
you
for
go.
the recommendation. I think I'm good with the first one. I got enough out of that.
Yeah, I think that movie is enough movie to like...
It's the best, like... It's good for content, though. You might be a little late on it, though. You got to be quick, because...
Oddly, enough, I think you can kind of like survive. I was really late to the first one, but I feel like that's because like it was the first one and there was like a word of mouth thing kind of going, whereas this one everybody's like on it. But I do think that some people could chill on this and like be good. Well, no, I know that like Elvis the Alien's working on one right now, so depending on him, what he can be like the beta test. It can be like, okay, how's like first weekend going, how's second weekend going, and like how far out can you push it.
I feel like you guys got your videos out like in a day. Immediately saw like 365 like back to back, and I'm like, damn guys, give us some time to work on ours.
No,
Jeez.
I knew it was coming out Wednesday. I was like, okay, I have nothing planned for Saturday. I'm booking it. Like I canceled stuff. I was like, we must watch this. I did like a, they call it something else, but like a Netflix party where you can send a link out and people can watch it with you.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it became like a thing where we were watching and counting how many songs were playing throughout the film, and we somewhere got to around like the mid-20s. All pop songs.
Yes, that's
within an
thing.
hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you do want to take it up on content, it is there. But today, because we got a bit
We do. We're not here to talk about.
Today, we're not here to talk about crappy romance and sex movies. Today, we're talking about my love for crap in particular. Today, we're talking about Butt Boy. So a few episodes ago, in passing, I had mentioned a film to Mike called Butt Boy, and I just knew that his reaction was up. It was telling me that this would be something that maybe we'd be up for, and I thought, bring the community together and talk about Butt Boy as the season winds down.
Yeah, I'm also really glad to be here for it. I watched it this morning, so
I'm happy. This morning. That's a lot at dawn.
Yeah, truly. I just wake up, got my coffee, 5 hours of sleep, and I'm like, let's load up Butt Boy.
And I'm curious, as a person that kind of introduced it to you guys, what was your your initial reactions before we get into plot and everything?
I remember I must have forgotten what the hell you said in the episode when you were describing it. Because, I thought I understood what was happening. I was like, yeah, it just has a silly name, but it's like a serious drama.
No.
And then I started to watch the movie. In the first 5 minutes, I was like, this is dark. And this is also, I'm missing something. Something is important here that I'm missing. Because things are disappearing. And I was like, that's not it, right? My initial thought was like, I don't think that's it. There's no way. I'm thinking too stupid. And then the movie went on, and I was like, okay, never mind.
I'm thinking just stupid enough.
Yeah. There was a direction early on that I thought it was just like, it's still fucked, but I thought that there was a direction that it was going to be even worse. Like after that park scene, I was like, what are we doing here? What is happening? Okay. I immediately knew it was a film festival movie. Like it. Oh yeah. You get like the the music, just the vibe. I was like, okay, this played at like Fantasia Fest, Outback Fest, or Fantastic Fest. And I think it was Fantastic Fest that it actually played up. And it was just one of those like instant things you just know that like not only was it top class, it's like it was created by a small team, but then still managed to get enough of like a push to make it into some kind of festival circuit.
I was actually really impressed by how well made to some degree it was.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fun of it. So if you guys didn't see the episode where I mentioned, I believe we were doing Dead Sushi. So I think it's the episode on Dead Sushi. Another, at this point, I just have a back pocket full of inanimate objects that come to life and kill people. Dead Sushi, killer chairs.
Was Slacks your idea too?
Yeah. It was, yes.
But I had already seen it.
I think Amanda had already seen it, yeah.
Oh.
Because I at a film festival, so it's
So it worked out. I was like, it's something in my back pocket. And then I said, have you heard about the one that's like the killer
asshole?
Yeah, and so that's how we got here today, children. So basically the premise of the movie is that we have this guy who is, I don't know, just kind of catatonic in his life. Everything's dreary. He has a wife and kid, and like everything is falling apart. And then one day he goes to get a prostate exam, and it awakens his asshole powers. It's giving very like wind tunnel from Inuyasha type vibes, but from his butt. And so he notices that if he sucks more people up his butt, he gets more powerful. And so it ends up being like a crime drama where they're trying to catch the man with the wind tunnel in his ass. And it's like this kind of like this again, that's the word I used before, was like Pulp Fiction-y type film in which the detective is trying to get everyone to understand that this is, you know, the evil of our time right now is a man who's kidnapping small animals, children, people up his butt.
Yeah.
He starts off small though, you know, with like remotes and things to clean dishes and pieces from Sorry.
Not exactly
The
small.
board
He
game.
goes straight for like the bar of soap.
Yeah,
Isn't that
bar
like
of
his
soap
first
is the-
victim?
Yeah.
Like just a full-on Dove soap. I was like, oh, we're starting strong here.
Yeah.
Started from just like 2 fingers, just like, all right, this is it.
Yeah.
And that was the funniest part about it. It's like this whole problem could have been solved with a quick, damn, this would have been a great time to have an Adam and Eve plug.
Yeah, truly.
It's
You know,
like,
heteronormativity,
man. I would have sent it over with just a simple trip to the adult store,
Yeah,
but alas.
Jarritos, baby. Just in case you're parched. Drink up, guys.
Okay, cut this out if it's not allowed, but like, I don't know. I think this would have made a fine specimen for his powers, you know? It's domed for his pleasure, like, you know?
Durable.
I mean, honestly, this is going a little off topic. Not really. It's still kind of on topic. But I have a friend who's a nurse. And so she has like so many stories of people putting things up their butt that just shouldn't be up their butt, and then they end up at the nurse. So, and at the doctor. So, you know, I feel like if you're going to stick something up your ass, it could be on the lower end of the terrible things that have actually been up people's ass that I've heard about. So maybe that's for another episode of weird things I found out that people have stuck up their butt. Anyway, back to the film. It was made in 2019, and it's directed by Tyler Cornack, who, if I'm not mistaken, is in the movie as Butt Boy. So if I recall correctly, I ended up watching like an interview.
He's the main character?
I know
the
the
director?
boss.
I know somebody.
Yeah,
I
he
know,
is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know the editor is also his boss, like the guy who works at the office. Is all like, let's
That
get
makes sense
a.
too.
Yeah, so he edited the movie.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he was great. Good gumption. I thought he was the director. He gave me vibes of like, you're the director, you wrote this and you're gonna act in it, and like that was the vibe I got. But like editor, you know, close enough. But,
I mean, because the guy that plays in it, I think I remember seeing like an interview, because right after I saw it, I was like, I must know more.
Yes.
So some of this information is a little bit fuzzy, but he did like an interview on the movie, and they were like, so like, how did it feel? I think this was his first time maybe being in front of the camera. He's like, I don't ever want to do this again. This is a terrible decision. But I was like, I think he did a pretty good job. He gave this like general disillusioned
I think so too.
vibe that really fit. He works at his job, RTM, that looks suspiciously like REM.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he really embodied the storyline and the character. So
Yeah, I think so too. And then you don't have to like pay someone extra money for exposing their butt on camera.
absolutely.
He's just like, I will be the ass wind tunnel.
Yeah, even though the movie was called Butt Boy, I wasn't prepared for as many ass shots as I was going to get through that movie.
Yeah, same.
But it was a lot of spread.
Just a lot.
Spread cheeks. Just going at it.
God.
And I love how, you know, it's so implied for much of the beginning. It's just this like slow pan into any object and him just staring ominously at it. And I'm like, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Just the panic attack I found. But should we spoil the ending? Because the ending is really what got me. That like stuck with me for some reason. But I guess we'll save that for later.
We can. Yeah, I want to say
build up to it.
Yeah, we'll build up to it a bit. So I feel like there was definitely like a sexual aspect of it for him, right?
Oh yeah,
like the prostate stuff, and that's where it got like fuzzy at times because it's like this is he gets the dog, and then they're in the park trying to put up signs for the dog, and he sees a mother holding a baby, and I was like, sir.
Sir, where is this going?
Sir.
And they kind of just made it kind of, I guess, less disgusting by calling it like a kidnapping instead. And I was just like,
well, yeah, because if they don't know what happened to the kid, they can't say anything else.
Because, like, how do you start the investigation? I just believe that this is what happened. No one's gonna round up the troops for. I think my child was kidnapped up somebody's ass. Like, that's not gonna work. So, and well, there is like this sexual element because, like, in the beginning, there's this kind of they show him having the like least satisfying sex I've ever seen on screen.
Yeah.
And
he's just like grabbing the wife's hand and being
like,
come on.
Come on, and it's like, you know, she's not into the sneaky peeky, you know? So he's like, all right, well, I'll go. But I just feel like if you were already interested in it, we would have discovered this power before now.
No, I think he had no idea because, like, you know, men are just like, no, I don't want anything.
Fair.
No. And then, like, you get the prostate exam and you're just kind of like,
wow.
Well, like, I guess.
Is that the moral?
So can we technically blame the wife for this then? Had she just gone in, maybe just would have stayed at that level,
and
not
she would have been
just dead immediately.
Just gone. Just like the combination of like the multiple levels of euphoria. This is not staying monetized, but just like just right up.
Just like.
I'm actually surprised.
Asshole, basically,
I'm surprised of the things I've gotten away with, so we might be able to do this.
Yeah, I know.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you know, there. I guess the thing that shocked me so much about the movie is that I guess in hearing us describe it, you'd expect it to be a more obvious comedy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They play it really straight through most of the movie.
Yeah.
It's very like lighting wise and transitions from scene to scene, and I'm like, well, you really got some like background technical talent there, my guy.
Yeah.
Using it for Butt Boy and using it for justice. I appreciate that.
I feel like that's
using
what
it for good.
All these artsy guys are doing. They're just like, well, what's the best way for us to get a movie in any kind of film festival? Let's make some weird crime thriller with like an unusual premise that people are just gonna watch for the sake of it being a weird fucking premise. So they all have like their degrees and they all have their cameras and shit, and they're just like, good enough.
Butt Boy.
And like, because of the title, I wouldn't say that it, like, Butt Boy makes it sound like a butt superhero. Like a, you know, like Butt Boy, you know, like the assistant or something of some kind of, you know, hero, not.
Why am I thinking like Sonic? Like,
yeah, exactly what I mean. Yeah, like Sonic and Butt Boy.
That sounds supernatural. Just like so normal.
I know.
Like an actual title.
Exactly. And then it's like, and then I guess Butt Boy's probably potentially actually leaning into something of the ending, but like not like I feel like it has to be kind of referring to like the main dude, but in the same way.
Oh, you mean like the
butt boy? That's like, is it about the actual butt boy?
Which I have a question about that when we get to the end.
Yeah,
there's one little thing that was still lingering on my mind where I was like, "There's a missing piece."
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Is it a missing child? Because that's what I said. Because that's what I said. I was like, where did he go?
Yeah.
I was pissed because they kept showing the dad, and I was like, reunion.
No.
Where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
No?
Guess
Okay.
we will get
school.
Yeah, I have thoughts there too.
You couldn't make it on set that day.
No, I got thoughts.
So I really liked all the characters in this movie. I thought the movie was genuinely funny too.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm having a good time right now. I like this movie a lot. Progressing through it, he's in AA, right? The main character.
Yeah.
And
the detective, yeah.
Yeah, and his sponsor ends up being the detective's in AA, and his sponsor ends up being, what the hell's the main character's name?
Chip.
Butt boy.
Chip. Okay.
Chip.
Chip. Yeah,
Chip.
that ends up being their relationship throughout the movie. And then at work, it's bring your kid to work day. Chip obviously brings his son. Everybody else brings their kid. And then a kid goes missing. And that was because one of the kids decided to hide under Chip's desk, and Chip just looked at him like, "No, please,
not the
temptation.
Yeah.
And I guess he secretly sucked him up his asshole at one point. It's not shown, but
yeah,
it was
it's
sly.
not. Sorry.
Yeah, like the AA for Chip is not because he's an alcoholic. He's going to AA to stop his butt suck urges.
Right.
It's gone too far.
It's gone too far. Oh god.
And then it was like sponsoring the detective that like unleashed it in him again, because the detective's like, I miss everything about alcohol, you know, the swirling of the ice in the glass, and it's just like
It's so intense. It's like fucking Christmas bells. It's like, this is great.
It's so good.
But like the character creation was great, so
Yeah.
He ends up that spawns a whole detective investigation with the detective and Chip and trying to figure it out, and they're trying to like detective's trying to sniff him out, for lack of a better term, but he's trying to sniff him out, like see what he's about, and he's suspicious of him the entire fucking movie, but he just needs more evidence.
Yeah.
And can someone explain the little seeds things that he leaves behind? Like, I get it, but like, I want to know what you guys describe that as. The little things he finds at these.
I thought it was like ass hair and like attached to like little nugs or something. Like, I don't know.
What was the chunk then?
Yeah, the little nug, the little the happy.
It was just a nug of ass hair. That's what it was.
No, I am like, is it like? I was watching it on an iPad, to be fair, and I kept wanting to zoom in on that, and I just couldn't.
I was pausing it on my TV and being like, what the fuck is that?
I was like, is it a turd straggler on the hair? Is it...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, is it like I don't know.
But then I even thought like he was...
from his inner ass?
Just chunks of his ass slowly being scraped away. I don't know. I thought he was like...
hemorrhoids.
Like, not even that. I thought it was the people that he was putting into like little things, and they were gonna have to like grow them back to bring them back to life or something.
Yeah, I know where the movie is going. At first I thought it was like the digested people, and like it was just like wasn't coming out as full poop for whatever reason. Like, I don't know. I'm looking it up. What's coming out of butt?
Yeah.
The thing that got me is like the visual of like, oh well, now they're out. We're gonna have to just like
Plant them.
pour water on them to get
Put them in dirt.
Okay.
grow them like a chia pet.
Don't Google what's coming out of Butt Boy's butt. It's just not. Just gonna add Reddit to the end of that.
Yeah.
Nope, don't do that either.
One of the many mysteries that have been left by Butt Boy. That's fine.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
This podcast is sponsored by Jarritos. Yes, that's right, the delicious Jarritos, which has 12 flavors including strawberry mango tamarind, mandarin Jamaica, Jamaica, grapefruit, lime, Mexican cola, and more. My favorite flavor is tamarind. That's why it's front and center right over here. It comes in a glass bottle, no HFCS, all natural flavors made with real sugar. So get the Jarritos Fiesta Packs at Walmart to try every flavor. Link is in the description. And thank you, Jarritos, for sponsoring this podcast.
Oh, okay. So ratings wise, we can pop on that real quick. That it seems to do, marginally well. Got 71% on Tomato Meter, 62% for audience score. I feel like the audience score is a little low.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel
oddly,
like that should be higher.
If it's Rotten Tomatoes, I'm guessing. They're
Only
Yeah.
50 plus ratings. Maybe just the wrong
Yeah.
people got to this movie.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I got a 62%. Like
We are
it's
doing
just,
God's work.
Yeah, I
We
feel
need
like
the right audience.
there's a lot of normies on Rotten Tomatoes, and like I feel like there's an entire section of people that there's nothing wrong with that just wouldn't understand what this movie is supposed to be. So they're criticizing it. I'm not saying it's like a fucking work of art or anything, but there's people that are gonna watch this being like,
But I
thought
feel like
this
if
was
you
supposed
walked
to be.
into a movie about a guy with a wind tunnel up his ass and it's called Butt Boy, you have to sign on to the
Yeah.
ride. You can't be surprised like, wow, this is just disgustingly absurd.
yeah,
It's like,
I know, right?
Shut
That's
up.
fair. It's weird. It also
You
has
join
like
the
a
chaos.
it has a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd too, and I usually find that they skew a little higher for weird shit. But so it's about even. Only 2 of my friends have watched it, and Adam from YMS gave it a 3 out of 5, which is very high for Adam.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that's good. Which that's probably where I would stick it, like a 3 to a 3.5, depending, like, because it's really fun. Like if I was watching this
Yeah.
with like a group and we were drinking, like this was an absolute blast. It was still fun at like fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, like, you know, like. But yeah, 71% from critics is. That actually does
That's
make
another
sense.
thing too.
Because this is the
Like-
kind of movie that they would, if you were getting hired to cover it, it's probably because your publication does this kind of stuff normally. Like they cover weird stuff, they cover the horror circuit stuff, so you're gonna get that skewing a little higher because you're not getting like top critic from like fucking Roger Ebert being like, Butt Boy is an examination of, but it's fun. It's always interesting.
What dare I ask to finish that sentence? Butt Boy is an examination of
Heteronormativity and the shame. There we go. There,
and
we got
how
it.
it is taking how the patriarchy is turning men into fearing their own buttholes.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
Symbolism.
Yeah, the
I
symbolism.
missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that on the first watch. Gotta watch it again.
Oh my god. I cannot find any. I'm sure it's out there. There's probably a solid discussion of what is coming out of Butt Boy's asshole, but it's just too niche of a search to like be bringing up the right.
I'm gonna
Responses.
stick with probably the little hair, like a trail. Like
It's definitely. I think
Goldilocks
it's
trying to
something
find
like
him,
that.
you know, where-
It's definitely something like that. I just, you know, what specifically? I was like, is that just like a little turd straggler with like some hair on it? Like, I don't know.
Goldilocks, how to find him, or Hansel and Gretel rather. Wrong,
Yeah, Hansel
wrong,
and Gretel. Yeah.
wrong fairy tale that we're comparing Butt Boy to.
Oh my god.
Okay, so as we like continue with the movie, we reach the end.
Pretty much.
And at this point, there's been like the chase throughout the movie. The director's, you know, trying to figure out, like, at this point, he's kind of tried to bring in the rest of the department to believe.
But
that
because like
Butt Boy is a thing.
yeah, but like because the story involved like it's my AA sponsor. By the way, I'm an alcoholic. I think this man is sucking people up his asshole.
Yes.
It's
They were
like-
like, okay.
Okay, there, Johnny.
Okay. And then Chip ends up becoming somewhat of like a local hero for some reason.
Oh, so basically what happened there is that so like he's at a kid's birthday party at like a laser tag thing or something, some kind of like jump event, and then Buddy it is revealed that the detective has a little bit more of a personal connection to this situation than was previously, you know, known. And it turns out that, can we spoil that now? Yeah, whatever. The detective was actually the father of the baby that Chip sucked up his asshole all those years ago.
Like 9 years ago.
Like 9 years ago. So he goes to kill Chip at this party and like shoots him and like almost has him beat, But now Chip is just too strong with the ass game and like sucks him in. So everybody thinks that like Chip saved all of these kids from being shot by this crazy rogue detective who actually found evidence, but his boss didn't want to look at the evidence because it sounded crazy. So they just think that he's run off, like the detective's just run off and hidden because he was like foiled by Chip. So now he's like a local legend for saving all these kids. And then we awaken inside the asshole. Yeah, inside the asshole. Where the kid that he had sucked up previously from his work is there just like, don't worry, you'll
9 years old.
Yeah, you'll get used. Oh, but this has to be. First he finds the kid that just got sucked up. Then he finds his kid that had been sucked up in like, was it like a shit cocoon kind of thing that he was just kind of
Yeah, he was just literally breeding and shit.
Yeah,
It was the cave. It was the cave of his asshole.
Yeah, it was
That is really hard to like put like a size reference on.
it's just
Because it's just this massive. Sorry, I just looked at Mike's face.
They went all in for this movie.
It did. Like everywhere is you're like, well, they've got to address this. They did. They did.
they addressed. I love how they just didn't address that. To go, it's not just to be sucked into his ass. To be sucked into his ass is to enter a whole new dimension.
Yeah.
Where somehow the baby that was sucked into his butt 9 years ago is now 9. He has been sucked into this universe of his ass as a full-grown adult.
Yep.
Within the world. And it's their like exploration on how to get out. And on the outside, in the real world, I guess, outside of the assiverse, is him becoming him becoming a local legend for saving these kids. And he's like doing like a talk or like being presented with something at a podium.
The award, like the
award.
It's apparently it's literally like the award that you give like hero cops for doing like feats of glory and whatever. But yeah.
Is there any proof he did anything? That's the part
Yeah,
I kept
I don't
How do they
know.
know he stopped him and there's no body to prove anything? It's just like, I
Because-
think we're just going to skip over that part.
I think it's because he had attacked him the night before or something. Like they had gotten into that fight and scuffle. So like he was already like the disgraced cop that I think was on the run. So I think he could just lie and be like, yeah, he shot me and I overpowered him. And I was just beating.
Escaped in the back.
Yeah, I was just beating the crap out of him. And then like I wrestled the gun away from him. And then like he just ran away. So it's like,
Okay,
yeah.
makes sense.
yeah, I don't know if he needs a whole ass like Medal of Honor or anything. Just like,
Whole ass.
um,
I've been stopping
Low-hanging
myself from
fruit.
doing that this entire fucking
Why?
conversation.
Do it.
I
the
just
whole
kept hearing
time.
like,
yeah, I gotta work on it. But
And then he goes up to get his award. They have everyone in the audience, like the other guy whose kid was missing that was under the desk.
yeah,
He's there, like, you know, I don't know why he's there now that I think about it. Like,
because it was like the
why
whole
was he-
office. It was like the whole
I
office,
guess
but I
the
don't
whole
think he would have
office.
gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, like my child went missing at my office space. Fuck all of
And
you
now
people.
Fuck all
Like,
of
pretty
you.
much.
yeah, like,
And maybe that's the saddest part of this movie, though, is because what kind of happens is that to escape the Assiverse, they somehow concoct like a makeshift bomb inside of him to
yeah, the
like
hot
off
sauce.
of his like stomach axe.
yeah,
off
the
of
hot
his, like,
sauce,
stomach
Holster
stomach
hot sauce.
acid. Yeah.
and set it on fire, and he explodes.
Yes.
He explodes. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that.
No.
I thought he was going to shit him out
Yeah.
with fury,
Well,
but like still be alive.
That was like the original. So because they started testing things. They started like pushing like a remote back through, And like, because they figured out where the asshole was, so they started pushing the through. And they pushed the dog through, like his own dog that he sucked up his own ass 9 years ago. And then he cleans
The
up.
dog is actually his. I read his name is Marty.
I love that. Amazing. So then they're like, okay, we can send ourselves through. We know it's gonna work. It's gonna be good. Except by now, dude has figured out what's going on. So he takes like some super insane like stomach elixir, not even laxative, just some stomach shit. And so when they try to send the kid that he had sucked up his ass like a couple weeks ago out, it kills him, like it burns him. So he just fucking dies.
Yeah.
Like right before they get to safety, which is like, I think is actually the only part I don't like about the movie. Is that this poor little kid.
And where did the other child go? That was the question. Like, what happens as he explodes?
The body?
The detective?
Like the body of that kid? I think he's dead.
I didn't think, because they didn't show him die, right?
No, they
showed him
show
dying.
like, so I just didn't.
Yeah, and he looks fucking gross. I thought he'd at least like, medical attention right away, get him to the ER, but he's just not there at the end.
Yeah.
That's the saddest part. Zooming
is.
in on his
And
dad's
they show like 15
Yeah.
shots of like the fucking dad being like,
Yeah.
just
coming
waiting for
and
something.
then Guy just looks at him with like the somber look of like,
He didn't make
my
it.
baby that should have died without any kind of attention 9 years ago is fine though. Like
Just walks right past everybody.
yeah.
We're not gonna
I just
ask,
think
like,
I
what's
just thought that if you were gonna
sustaining him.
blow up the ass verse, like all the other stuff that they didn't shove through should have come out too. So even if the kid was dead, like the body should have popped out, and
They
maybe
thought it was too morbid. We had to keep
the
it as like...
podium. Maybe it was behind the podium, but I have no
We
idea.
had to keep it, because otherwise it's not a feel-good film if we address the dead child that got exploded.
Yeah, I really just wanted them to just explode out of his asshole, though. Like, I really just wanted it to be, like, on stage, just like, like, and then everyone's
Everyone,
just
like,
kind
slam
of,
against the wall.
yeah, because, like, right now, it could almost be said that he planted a bomb on the dude and blew him up and then just came out from behind the podium and was like, aha, I was hiding here the whole time. I found a child. Because, like, at this point...
And it's
they
mine.
think it's mine.
This is my child.
Yeah, but, like, the first things first, nobody, like... There was no account for that. They were just like, okay, so the crazy detective who's attacked someone who has now seemingly blown him up is a small child now. Maybe we should tackle the dude.
Because, like, they just can't account for the fact that he came out of his body.
You know?
Like,
It's like they-
No one says
magic trick.
anything, right? It's dead silence the
Dead
entire
silent
time.
until the end of the movie. Except for the guy going like, the boss being like, oh.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like when they get there, it's just pointing. It's just like, you know, he's like, get the kid in the hospital, and then the ex-wife shows up with her new husband, and it's just like pointing to the room where he is, and then looking. That kid is
Feel
gonna
good
be
cinema.
fucked though. Like he's been in an ass for 9 years with no socialization. This is not a happy ending on any stretch of the imagination.
I had the, like, disturbing question of what have you been doing to sustain yourself in here? And that
What did they
disgusting.
They
eat?
were eating something, and I was
Was it
like,
shit?
I think they're eating shit crusts that are stuck to the lining of the asshole.
Because it looked like a brownie, but I was like, that's supposed to be shit, though, right?
It must be.
Because they all like gather around. Didn't they say grace?
Yeah, they did. The kids all like in this crappy situation. No pun
It's
intended.
a very Jonah and the whale adjacent
Yeah.
type situation.
Yeah,
Biblical allegories as well. That's what I mean. It's deeper than we
it's very deep.
It is deeper than
It
you
is
think.
deeper.
we gave it credit for. So we gotta.
It was good.
I was gonna say, like, we're gonna touch on, like, because Amanda said earlier your general rating. Like, Mike, what would you give the experience?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being tent on fire, trashy, 10 being delicious s'more. I had a lot of fun in this movie. Way more fun than I was expecting, which is always great. I thought it was genuinely funny. I liked all the characters. Man, is it weird if I rate this high?
No, I think
No.
they're good. No.
I feel like there needs to be like a threshold or something.
It's an enjoyment
Honestly,
factor. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for enjoyment factor, honestly, I'd probably give it like 8, maybe 7.5. I
Ooh.
really
Sick.
liked my watch.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel like 7's like very safe. Like I'd watch it. Like if I watch, I want to watch it again, like with people. So I think that's always a good sign. You know.
I think it's like a good 7 now. Just watching it with friends and alcohol, easily a 8.25.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
jump up.
Dead on.
Like I want to have a butt boy party.
You could have a butt boy themed party, and everyone comes in with butt hats, and just have a
Like you open the door with a vacuum,
butt
being
tub.
like, "Hey guys."
Ooh. Only ominous like accordion plays as you go through.
Exactly.
And an explosion at the end. So
We
we
got
love that.
brownies, snacks, whatever company's
There you
miracle stomach elixir drinks. Like we go on theme.
Other foods that look like Marty the dog.
Exactly, like Marty cookies. Yeah. Oh man, get like Hershey's chocolate kisses, but like add some chocolate on top so they look like the Trouble game pieces. Like get artesian with this
Or
shit.
play trouble or sorry just to
Yes.
stay on brand.
Yes, yeah, it's sorry, yeah. I don't know why I said trouble, but yeah, the sorry pieces.
Same vibe, small
Yeah.
game
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah, little thing.
Shoved up unmentionable places.
Yeah,
It's so
exactly.
good.
Yeah, I just think that this is the type of movie that can bring people a lot of joy, you know? In the-
Absolutely.
In the dark cavern. of
Despite the
time.
descriptions.
Yeah,
Walk in knowing you're going to have a great time. And
Yeah.
that's what's the important part of it.
like part of me wants to do like a little like the breakdown of like, oh, ways it could be better as it like winds into its conclusion, but it's called Butt Boy. I think I need to chill out, but like
Like at some point you have to address yourself and be like, am I the problem here?
it's real minimal changes. It's just like I just wanted them to get shit out. Like, is that so wrong? Like
I just wanted the kid to survive. That's
Same.
all I just
That
wanted
is
him
cruel.
to be. I just wanted him to see his dad. He probably
Yeah.
had class or something, and they were like, "We can't bring him in the set."
that
So
is
we'll just-
very plausible. So like, oh well, it's a crime thriller.
Well, he'll die.
Someone's gonna be a fucking casualty here.
especially in the Assiverse. But that's all we have for today, people.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to gear up. We're gearing up for more butter content. I think our next episode, I believe, is the season finale. Woo. And we're going to be talking about your opinions.
Ooh, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your terrible opinions.
Which we might
Yeah.
yell at you, but it will be
And at each other.
And at
'cause
each other.
Apparently,
yeah. I don't know.
me-
Me and Kenny's taste, it's like this, but then it's like immediately something touches, and then it's like boom. It's like,
I have strong feelings about Scott Pilgrim, and apparently, not Cabin in the Woods. It follows. Yeah,
which
So we'll
are
see.
two movies I love. So we'll have fun.
fascinating.
Fuck you.
True. Well, I'm curious to hear, especially for It Follows. We'll see in the
Okay,
next one.
sick.
But that's all. That's all, everybody. Thanks for watching. Feel free to follow me. I've been Kennie JD. Follow me on YouTube at Kennie JD, Twitter, Instagram, all of which are Kennie JD. Where can we find you guys? Let's start off with Mista GG.
Hey guys, you can find me at Mista GG on YouTube, the Mista GG on Twitter. Yeah, it's really it, Amanda.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Letterboxd, and a bunch of other places at AmandatheJedi.
And oh wait, I gotta do the butter your s'more. I've never done it before.
Hey.
And what is it? Don't forget to butter your popcorn. I said butter your s'more. Don't forget to butter your popcorn.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a horrible line.
I know, but I love it so much because it always reminds me of Mean Girls. Like, would you like someone to be assigned to butter your muffin?